So we're at WrestleCon and I'm here with the one and only Colt Cabana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very
today?
good. Thank you very much. Yeah. We've had a really big week in wrestling. Yeah.
And we actually had one of the biggest crowds in RH history.
Yes.
And you're involved with RH.
Yeah,
right?
I was at the show as a producer and an agent. And then, of course, I always bring my gear, like Dennis Stamp. I'm ready if I need to wrestle also.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were very proud of it. And, of course, I was very proud of Mark Briscoe.
Absolutely.
And I didn't realize how emotional I would get, but I really did. It's just a reminder, and I wish there was more reminders of, my friend Jay Briscoe, who I've known since I was 22 or 23 years old. And it was just a great reminder of Jay's life and his legacy. And again, like I said, there should be more daily reminders of how great of a person Jay was.
Definitely a very emotional moment, very emotional show. And RH, since the acquisition, has been just growing. What do you think has been the main factor? Like, what changed in the essence of RH that made it go bigger and better?
Well, you know the answer to that.
Sure, but let's share with the subscribers.
Tony Khan.
I'm just kidding, but like, besides that, like, obviously Tony Khan is a driving force, of course.
The idea that, listen, like, we kept the spirit alive. Rhett Titus wrestled on the show, and Tony Deppen, and there's some of the guys are still back there and keeping the spirit of Ring of Honor alive while always moving forward. And that, I was with Ring of Honor from 2002 to 2007, and then 2010 to I was a part of 3 different eras of Ring of Honor, and it's not like it was the same group every time. So it was always an expansion, and now it's just a different part of Ring of Honor's lore. It's obviously like pretty crazy, but we also, as Ring of Honor, went through different change. It went from Doug and Rob for a little bit, and then went to Kerry, and then Kerry went to Sinclair, and then as bookers, we've had it was Gabe, and then Delirious, or then Adam Pearce, and so like this stuff is going to change and is going to roll over, and that's kind of what's happening right now. And so, but obviously there's a great a financial team behind it right now, so it's kind of like the sky's the limit for us right now.
Yeah. RH also statistically has the highest number of women's matches per pay-per-view recently in wrestling. Is that something that's just more like that the RH audience is more receptive to, or is it just because it's more geared at the sophisticated fan and it's just a safer ground to do that? Like, what's your outlook on that?
Yeah, I can't speak for anyone for like why that's happening. But I'm all for it. I mean, that's kind of all I could say. And hopefully, we use Ring of Honor, I think, as a testing ground for a lot of stuff of like, if it works here, it can move on to something else. So, hopefully that's a testing ground of like, hey, let's show everybody that this is very viable. And I'm not being like, I'm not going to speak for women, but like, hopefully, like, hey, as the wrestling community, it's very viable to put women on, just as much, if not more. And maybe if we see some success with that could be moved on to a Rampage, Dynamite, or a Collision.
Yeah. And in terms of what you do as a performer, we've seen you tagging with Brandon Cutler lately, which has been so much fun.
Thank you.
Love that. And are you more concentrated on producer work right now, or are you trying to balance both of them, or like what are you trying to do as a wrestler right now?
Listen, in a perfect world, I would love to be the world champ, but also in a perfect world, like Brandon and I, we just want to wrestle, and we just want to have fun matches. And like, in my mind, there's a spot for someone to kind of entertain children on the show. I know we have the best. Our wrestlers are so good. But I also grew up on WWF 80s wrestling, and like I love the Bushwhackers, and I love that kind of wrestling. So that's kind of the spot I want to give to fans who are coming, hardcore wrestling fans, but are maybe also bringing their kids, or someone who isn't that much into hardcore wrestling. The idea of like work rate. And, I think shows should have a little bit of everything. So that's what Brandon and I are trying to bring to the table. We do a lot of dark matches, and we do some Ring of Honor. So we're getting that opportunity, and we've had a lot of great feedback, and we're really loving doing it. We went to Japan to wrestle, and we went to Canada. So from that aspect, it's wrestling. I do enjoy what I do as a producer and agent, but my heart will always be with performing. I love performing so much.
And I've seen you before doing other comedy stuff, like your team with Greg Burge in England.
Yeah.
And last time we crossed paths was at the press conference in England, and I asked you a question there. I asked you what was your favorite donut flavor. or a type of donut.
Yeah.
I was gonna get an update on that.
What did I say? Do you remember?
I think you said like Boston cream or something.
I did. I was going to think Boston cream. I like a Long John with Boston cream in it. Yeah. Yeah, a Long John with the cream in it is what I like.
We've got a new detail add-on, the specific, but
Yes.
the same flavor. Love that. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've been into birthday cake stuff too. You like birthday cake stuff?
I love birthday cake.
Yeah,
I like
so
it better
good.
than Boston cream.
Some people hate birthday cake stuff, but I like it.
I like it.
I like it a
Or
lot.
birthday cake, 2K24, come back.
Please. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hey, we do a live super show on Whatnot, pwtlive.com with Shop AEW and Pro Wrestling Tees every Tuesday night, and I host that. And come join us for a live shopping experience.
Oh yeah, I'll leave the link down below.
Thanks.